What's up, everybody? It's Instructor Smiley. Thank you guys for tuning in. Today we're going to be talking about Holster Choices 101. This may be a 1 or 2 part series, just depending on how much information I get out in the time and what questions you guys may have after this video. So pay attention and I hope you enjoy. So we're going to go ahead and get started with holster retention. It's huge in the dynamic of owning a gun and carrying to understand what type of retention you need. So we're going to go ahead and start with your carry concealed type of holsters and what retention that comes along with it. So level 1 retention is typically going to be for your carry concealed type. Your level 1 retention holsters, the only retention is the holster itself and a small screw that just tightens the molding to the gun. So level 1 is made for carry concealed because nobody should know you have this on. This should be tucked away or hidden so somebody can't come up and grab it from you. It's hidden. That is why level 1 is acceptable for that. Level 2 is going to be something like your Black Hawk Omnivore or your Safariland series holsters. These holsters are designed to have a locking mechanism inside which requires this latch or button to be engaged to draw the holster. So, you have your holster as your level 1 and your locking mechanism that's level 2. So this is really good for security and I would say any type of open carry. I typically don't agree with open carry, but if you do decide to open carry and you're not someone that wants to have it hidden, so you're wearing an outside the waistband holster and you're not wearing a flannel or a jacket to cover it, it's just out there. You let anybody see that you have a gun. I would highly suggest level 2. In the event, the non-likely event that somebody wants to come up and grab the gun, it'll be difficult because you have that second layer or level of retention. They would have to engage the button and then grab the gun from either in front of you or behind you. But by the time they get to that, you should be able to fight them off, defend them, karate chop them, whatever. Please do not open carry with level 1. My opinion only. If you decide that you're that big and bad, do what you got to do. I do not suggest it. But if you want to open carry, level 2 is the way to go. Or a step up, you're level 3. Level 3 is primarily law enforcement security, but if you want to carry and you want the most level of security or retention, your level 3 is the way to go. Again, you have the holster, you have the locking mechanism inside like the level 2, but now you have this hood. That is your level 3. This is an Alien Gear Rapid Duty holster, Rapid Duty Force, I believe, something like that. Yeah, Rapid Force holster, excuse me. This is their newest duty holster. It is a level 3 retention. So you have your hood, you have a button that disengages the hood. Boom, that's your second level of retention. And then your third is going to be your locking mechanism. All right, that is in there. So that is level 3 retention. Why is this important? Understanding what your current mission is or what you're doing will help pick your holster. So again, if you're carrying concealed, you have a level 1 retention. Level 1 retention is retention by the holster, and the retention button. You should hear a positive click. The cool thing about level 1 retention is typically you want to have acceptable retention for these holsters, right? So you shouldn't be able to just turn this upside down and it drop out. Some people want to give it a couple shakes to make sure it doesn't fall out. My test, what I deem acceptable, is holding it upside down. If it drops out, I need to either tighten the retention or get a better quality holster. If it doesn't drop out, it passed my test. It's good to go. All right, the cool thing about some of these holsters is that retention screw that is in there is pretty giving, so you can either make it super, super tight or super loose. And that will determine whether it drops out or not, and you can shake it or not. So understand that. I have other holsters, like this is a tier 1 made for a Glock 48. Again, understanding the acceptable level of retention for yourself. This is my P365 XL. It's rack safe. This gun is not made for this holster, but it fits in there. It covers my trigger guard, which is something you want. I hold it upside down, it doesn't fall out. Now, if I shake it a couple of times, it will fall out due to the weight and for the fact that it's not 100% designed for this holster. But acceptable level of retention for myself, I'm good to go. I do not believe in the whole shake it and it falls out rule for myself because I'm not doing anything, or I don't plan to be doing anything where I'm going to be jumping and flipping all the way upside down to where all the weight's on top of me and this comes out. Some people will say, oh, when you're in a car accident, the car flips, so on and so forth. That's what seatbelts are for. And then again, people are forgetting that this is pressed up against you. If I was to hold this like this and shake it, it's not going to come out. So again, understanding the acceptable level of retention. The level 3's retention and level 2, once it's in there, you should feel a lock and you should be able to pull it without the lock and it shouldn't come out. Then you should be able to press the button and release it and then it should come out. Now let's talk about quality of the holsters, right? we'll get this out the way. No more nylon, no more leather. There's tons of information online and there are tons of videos explaining why these holsters are no longer acceptable in the community. There are videos and pictures of people with worn holsters that their guns are going off and shooting themselves because the holsters are too worn. So the difference between these holster qualities and the materials made, the nylon and the leather, whenever they wear, they start to get soft and they can go inside areas like the trigger guard. This area right here, right? My gun is safe and clear, by the way, and it's rack safe. So if leather gets inside here, whenever it's going in and you're putting it down, it could engage the trigger. You don't want that. You want something that's gonna avoid that possibility practically all the way. So understand what material of holster you're using. I highly suggest a Kydex or stronger. Everything I have here, from my $65 holster to my $200 holsters, are Kydex or higher. You can, and here's the thing about that, there are great holster companies, I'll name a couple at the end, and then there are cheap holster companies. Again, making sure that these guns pass your acceptable level of retention, which is gonna be a standard you hold. Try and hold yourself to a decent standard. Doesn't have to be super, super high where you shake it, you can drop it or slam it and it won't come out. Just have an acceptable level of retention, understanding of why you're doing that. But also make sure that your holsters are meeting that standard. So there are a lot of holster makers out there. I'll say it again, a lot. You can get holsters as cheap as like $15 or $20 on Amazon. Those are not the greatest holsters. One, the retention does not get tight enough for the guns that you need sometimes. I've ran some and I don't like them. That's why I don't have any in my at all. I ran some for testing, they're just not good. The retention is too loose. You put it in, it falls right out. You tighten the retention all the way down, hold it upside down, gun just flops out. I don't want that. Another thing, look for comfort, right? People don't talk about this because a lot of people say that carrying a gun is inherently uncomfortable. It is, but let's make it as comfortable as possible. So I've been carrying tier 1 holsters now for a while. This is one of my, what I consider rigs, right? The one with the Mad Caddies. These are a lot bigger holsters and they are uncomfortable, but tier 1 does their best job to make it comfortable, and they're consistently moving forward to make these holsters more comfortable. I'll be doing a separate review on this holster to go into depth on why I choose them and what improvements they've made that made this holster better. But a company I highly suggest is tier 1. Then you have a holster that you kind of just need for a quick time. That is FS Tactical, right? This is one of my single holsters. I kind of use this if I'm wearing sweatpants or I'm going to the gas station and don't feel like throwing on an entire rig. This holster fits my gun, right? Has an ulti clip on it, very, very small rig. It fits. This holster was, I believe, $65, and it's quality. It gets the job done. It does what I need it to do. It has the positive click. It has the positive retention. That's what I need. FS Tactical, fine by me, solid holsters. I have the MSP. This is a universal holster, by the way. I didn't mention that. The retention is on the screw, but it also locks on the light. So for this holster right here, you can run any gun practically that it has an X300 light and it will lock on there. I've ran everything from my OZ9 to my Staccato to my CZP10. It carries it all and it locks on there pretty well. Its predecessor, the Filster, also is a universal holster, as well as the Omnivore. The Omnivore is a level 2 retention universal holster. This is a TLR1 version. I don't have any TLR1s, so this holster's kind of just sitting here for now, but it's something I suggest if you are like me, you have a lot of guns with lights and you want to train, but don't always have a holster. Super solid holster. But yeah, understanding the retention, understanding the quality of holsters. For your level 2 and 3, if you're working security, I really don't highly suggest this for security. This is really good for open carry, but when you start getting into security and law enforcement aspects, I'm really gonna suggest something higher like a level 3. That's just my personal preference on those, so understand that. That is it for the most part on what I wanna explain to you guys in this video. So takeaways, no leather, no nylon. Get them out, don't use them ever again. We don't wanna see them at classes. As an instructor, it's really hard to tell a student, hey, you need a more acceptable holster. Kydex, 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 as of right now, is the top of the line quality and material holster you need. Kydex. From there, understanding your retention levels. If you're a hunter and you want to carry an outside the waistband level 1 retention holster, that's fine. Just make sure that it passes your acceptable retention test, because I know in those mountains or in the woods, you trip, you fall, you don't want your gun to get hit by a tree branch or something and it come out your holster, especially loaded all the way. You don't want that to happen. So make sure you have a good acceptable level of retention. I still highly suggest using a level 2 retention as a hunter. or open carry. Super, super big. If you're open carrying, level 2, level 2, level 2. I am not a fan of open carry. I like the surprise element of concealed carry. I like people to not know I'm carrying a gun. But if you're in a state that abides by open carry and you're allowed to, open carry all you like. Just do it safely. Having a level 2 is going to add to that safety and that security. Level 3, law enforcement. Get out there. Most law enforcement agencies are carrying level 3 holsters, which is beautiful to see. Keep on it. Eventually, I'll be doing a review on the Rapid Force holster by Alien Gear. So far, I believe it's a decent holster. Again, I'll be doing a separate review on it. Do I think it's worth the money? If it's something that you're willing to buy, so far, yeah, I do. There's a lot of positive things about this holster that I'll get into later. But that is all I have. I'm gonna answer some questions real quick though, that people had. So question 1, comfortable appendix holster for big boys. Defining big is difficult, but I know a lot of larger individuals, 6'3", 6'4", I say 220 to 250, I see them carrying tier 1 MSPs. I've shifted weight. I normally sit around 185 and I've been as big as 205 before. And any holster that has this flex on it right here, that bungee, is typically nice because it flexes around your body. And I like that. When they're fixed, I don't have one out here right now, but when it's fixed, it doesn't move and it can become a pain because it's just sitting there and it doesn't move. So if you're a bigger guy, you want to start carrying appendix, look for a holster that has the bungee. Again, tier 1 does their best at making it comfortable. So they cut the slack out here so you don't have extra Kydex sitting there. They make it as minimal as possible. And it's like that on practically all their holsters. So bigger guys appendix carry, something with the bungee, tier 1, tier 1, tier 1. That's who I'm rocking with. FS Tactical also makes one. If you're not willing to spend the $150 or $200 for tier 1, you can use the FS Tactical model. It also has a bungee and he does cut the Kydex to make it a very comfortable holster. Sidecar versus separate holster and mag carry. So what this individual is asking, I normally carry a rig like this. This is a holster with a mag caddy attached. He is asking, what is the difference between carrying a regular holster and a mag caddy to the side? Preference. There's no, in my opinion, actual performance benefit from carrying the other one or any other way. I do know Neomag makes a super, super nice one for those individuals out there that want a very, very small package. I have a friend, One Tap Samurai. He hates carrying a weapon mounted light. He hates carrying a rig like this that has a magazine holder on the side. So he will carry something like this and a separate magazine to the side, or a Neomag in one in his pocket. Also very good options, purely preference though. There's no performance benefit to the other. I guess if you had to put it up against a timer, this may be, slightly faster just due to the placement of the magazine being right there. But if you carry this separately offside, you can also place this inside your waistband, a little bit to the left or wherever you like it. Nothing crazy, all preference. We went over different levels of retention, 1, 2, and 3, right? Level 1 is the holster and the screw. Level 2, one locking method and the holster. Level 3, you got the hood, locking mechanism, and the hood. Is Alien Gear any good? Like I mentioned, this one right here is pretty solid. Alien Gear does have a bad rep in the community. I don't know if they know that or not, but they're doing their best to come up with better quality holsters. I started with Alien Gear because they're a very affordable option, but their holsters did lack some technology and quality in the holsters. So as of right now, the only Alien Gear product that I am saying people should buy is their duty holster. When it comes to their carry concealed holsters, I have not seen one in a while, but the last that I checked, they still needed a little bit of work. Open carry, like I said, if you're open carrying in a city, please run a level 2. Again, the level 2 avoids somebody coming up behind you and just taking the gun. It does have that nub that they have to defeat, and that is difficult. Again, if you've never tried that, go ahead, take a force on force class. A lot of instructors offer them out there, and see how difficult it is to get into a scuffle, because nobody's gonna let you walk up and just take it out. And you, as someone carrying, should also have more defense mechanisms than just your gun. This is always the last resort. So, but that is it for the videos. Like I said, I probably will be doing a part 2 and understanding more about these, going into the draws and how to place your holsters, so on and so forth. And I'll be doing separate reviews on some of the holsters here. If you guys have any questions, you want to know anything, go ahead and drop a comment. If you guys enjoyed everything, please like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know if you guys have anything. Again, shout out to all the sponsors of the channel: Faction Firearms, Wilder Tactical, Obsidian Tactics. There's a couple. They're all down there. Those are 3 that came at the top of my head. Kratos Tactical, go ahead and check them out. Their discount codes are also there. If you guys ever need me, I'm on Instagram 24/7. Shoot me a message. I appreciate it. You guys have a good one.